These are some of the things that I'm very thankful for esports for, because without playing on a team, which I highly recommend you should do if you like a game, or without being an
Yeah.
observer director, I think I would have taken so much longer to realize these things, and I feel like I've matured a lot as a result of esports.
Okay, I'm going to use this opportunity to like step back a little bit because I said I wanted to highlight this, but then I didn't work it in right. So I'm just going to kind of jam it in now. One of the things I love about your story is that you didn't go to college.
No.
And I feel like a lot of times our society says, like, college is the place to go for you to advance in life. College is the place for you to mature. College is the place for you to whatever. And I have a master's degree in adult education. In my thesis or my research
Hmm.
paper was on how video games make better leaders.
Oh, that's dope.
And so like hearing your story about how this did that for you, like I really really love that. And like I'm just gonna kind of leave that open to you and like talk about how you feel about that, as like esports was your way to get this thing that most people say you have to go to college for.
Yeah, on why I didn't go to college, I just never really felt like it was for me.
Mm-hmm.
I was 18 years old. I was being told I should go to college. I flirted with going to community college, but even then, I didn't want to spend the money.
Yeah.
What it boiled down to for me was I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I
Mm.
didn't want to go in and spend a bunch of money on electives, because that just doesn't make sense if I decide I don't want to do anything that any of like my later classes channel
Yeah.
into. So college just never made that much sense to me. Um, People tell you like you're going to make more money if you go to college and stuff like that, but I was always just more focused on doing what made me happy,
Mm.
and college would not have made me happy. Even if I right now would have been sitting on like $200,000, I think where I'm at right now is irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, being on a team and trying to live with a cool head and be productive, like, very much gave me these skills I wouldn't have had otherwise. So I totally agree that gaming like definitely elevated me as a person.
I found the phrase you said there, being productive, very interesting because, again, this is something I've been wrestling with. Tell me more about what being productive means to you and what does that look like?
To me, being productive, it relates back to what I was talking about as an observer director, where you're being positive with the people around you and encouraging them to do more and be better. Doing that kind of thing, being productive in their life, will also reflect that back onto you, because you'll be living by those same things you're saying. Um, so I'm trying to find the right words to describe this, but really just always trying to find what you might be able to do better, even if it might be a mistake, and then acting on it. Like, for example, if you're playing a competitive game and you think of this play that sounds super sick, but you know it could backfire, like, just going for it sometimes.
Mm.
Like, just going for it in life, I think, is really important.
There's a YouTuber slash Twitch streamer that I kind of like man crushing on right now named Devin
Okay.
Nash. Have you ever heard of Devin Nash?
Yes, I have. I've watched some of Devin's stuff.
Yeah, so he recently was talking about this idea about the difference between motion and action. And actually, I don't know if it was recent because I've just kind of been grabbing his stuff. This could be an old video. But he was
Sure.
talking a lot about how motion is like, I'm going to research like 10 people that I should invite on my podcast, or I'm going to like think about topics that I should try to implement. Where, so that's motion. He's saying action is, I'm going to invite 10 people. I'm, I'm going to move it forward in some way, shape, or form, not just plan about my moving. And that has got me thinking a lot about my own productivity.
Yeah, I could definitely see where that would help you out, especially like with your podcast, like going from just thinking about who to invite, literally what you just said, to actually inviting people and getting show on the road, actually making a step towards what you want your end goal to be, even if you know you might get a bad guest.
Yeah, or I mean, in reality, I think what ends up happening, especially with something so fledgling as this, is most people are like, "No, it's not worth my time,"
Mm.
and that's just a reality of it, right? Like you have to grow an audience, you have to go forward, and so again, I'm very thankful for people like you who come on and take the time.
Of course, man. I love talking about esports.
um, so let's take this moment then. we kind of highlighted that piece about college. That was something that was really dear to my heart. Sorry, guys, if that seemed like a little jarring, me making that jump, but I feel like it's important for people who have a passion for them to take action towards that passion. And sometimes college isn't it, but sometimes it is. And that's
Yeah,
okay.
and just as important as the ability to move on a passion and act on a passion is an ability to understand when it's not there, which is why I didn't
Mm,
go to college. I didn't have any passion and I was kind of just like floating. And I didn't want to go float in this space that would cost me $20,000 a month or a semester rather.
right.
So it all for me it all comes down to just awareness and then being able to act on it when you feel passionate about a certain thing.
Right. I like that. That actually hit me hard on like a micro level.
Mm,
I've talked to my wife about this, where like I feel obligated to do things socially that I don't want to do, just because like I want to be nice or I want to be kind, and there's a time and place for doing something you don't want to do. Like that's being a
yes.
grown up. But
Yeah.
yeah, balancing that has been really hard for me.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to do, and I'm up here sounding like I have it all down, but I'm still working on these things too.
We're all a work in progress, you know. It's
Yes,
okay.
sir.